Chapter 13. The yellow-haired guy switches to a sword to harm Kwon, only for Kwon to dodge every single attack easily. In this case, there's something even better than a crossbow or a sword. It's an upward kick. The hit on the chin throws the guy, knocking him out. After knocking them all out, Kwon is satisfied and gets the sweet surprise of a level up. Looks like this was yet another event of Kwon beating up people of a higher level. After checking for useful items with these guys, Kwon proceeds to look around for the direction from where the orc appeared. Kwon stands on top of the cliff, near the Greymane orc tribe, ready to fulfill the mission of taking down the chief of the tribe and rescuing the prisoners. He decides to hit them in the head first. The three people Kwon beat up argue in anger and frustration whether he was an alt character or a ranker because his skills were too sharp, but he didn't seem like a ranker. In the argument, the girl shouts about losing her wooden weapons, which were her assets, but gets shouted back about it not being important at the moment. She gets teary eyes questioning if they are mad at her, making the two guys weird out by her. Not wanting to let this go, they call for backup. The guy they call first bullies them for losing to someone who buys magic and weapons with money, which is exactly why he suggested them to scout and find a PK target. Ending the conversation, he sends the coordinates of the location. 5 caped hunters also wonder where they should begin hunting from. Kwon, on the other hand, drips the roof on the orcs, making them collapse or get stuck under it. One of the orcs breaks through and shouts at their sneak attacker, only to receive a roundhouse kick on his cheek. The other orcs are shocked to witness that and try to threaten him, but Kwon starts jumping around kicking all the trapped orcs, showing them he won't be stopping just because they ask him to. Suddenly, a fire arrow is shot at the orc, followed by many more of them, killing the orcs. Kwon protects himself with the body of an orc, wondering where the archers came from in this tribe. The 5 guys appear there mocking the escaped orcs and thinking how they are not completely useless, even with no paid items. Kwon observes the confident guys wondering about their levels. They all turn out to be on level 69, which is close to the highest level one can reach in the Velros village. Even though Kwon is at level 52, he figures that his bonus points might give him an edge of being a little stronger than them. Deciding to test his luck, he prepares to take the chance of fighting 5 against 1. Kwon smiles at them, ready to fight them. His smile annoys the guys into thinking he is taking them easy, which is quite true, so they decide to take him down and see if he laughs after. A guy in a red cape takes out his bow and prepares to take Kwon down alone. The blue-haired guy, who is seemingly their leader, jokingly warns his comrade of Kwon having an incredible attack power. But just like it was intended, the guy takes it as a joke, ready to take down what he calls a weakness all on his own. Chapter 14. Kwon rushes towards the guy, skipping all the arrows he shoots at him, and slams his knee into the guy's face. The blue-haired guy tries to hit Kwon in anger, but Kwon damages it. The only problem that occurs is that the pause gives the other archers time to shoot at him, making it difficult for him to dodge their long-ranged attacks along with blue-hair's short-ranged ones. Kwon figures that the guy's attacks seem powerful, but are easier to dodge, making his efforts useless. But this seems to anger the guy more and more. With the increase of force, his weapon hits the ground when Kwon dodges it, getting stuck there. Using this opening, Kwon steps on the weapon to not let it be free anytime soon. Kwon then jumps and kicks him in the face. He then dodges the arrows of one of the archers, who saved the blue-haired one from getting completely knocked out. Kwon figures he won't be able to avoid damage for long if they keep attacking out of nowhere, so he'll be using a different approach. Since he can't get close to the archers right away, he needs to run away first. The moment Kwon starts running away, the archers follow to chase him, not wanting to let him reach the end of the forest. Kwon looks back while running, glad that the archers took the bait and are indeed following him. He thinks that they should follow him closely, as he is not at all planning to go ahead without a fight here. The archers look around out of breath, wondering where Kwon disappeared all of a sudden. It seems as if he only invested in his agility, but they also know that if he had only spent money on his agility, he wouldn't have been able to cause the damage that he did. This leads to an argument between them about chatting rather than finding him, but he has actually completely disappeared. They click their tongues upon losing a valuable target from so close, but decide on heading back now. Right after this decision, one of them is kicked in the head by Kwon, who pops up out of nowhere and knocks him out. Kwon then stands back, pointing at the other two, mentioning 2 more targets to go. This is obviously provoking, so the guys feel offended and try to attack him, but how can they attack him if he disappears yet again? The dudes realize it's a stealth skill he is using. The guys panic now that they know he can attack from anywhere. Kwon smirks, while hiding in one of the trees, proud that his plan of using the dense forest to block the long-range attacks and stealth skill to hit them with the dagger he picked are working out great. As the two feel cornered in such a huge forest, Kwon jumps out, kicking one of them and getting rid of him. He then turns to the other, hitting him before he can use his bow and then punching him out of consciousness. But he didn't expect one of the archers to get back up and attack him with arrows yet again. Not at all scared, Kwon tries to reach the guy, only to have his arms and feet stuck in a place. The archer smirks on successfully using his shadowbind technique, trapping Kwon from using his stealth. Kwon decides to use manpower instead of stealth and trying to break free from the bind, but the guy tells him strength won't work on it either. The guy laughs at his lack of knowledge, questioning if he is an alt. Kwon is surprised at this mention and confusedly questions being called an alt. The guy is also confused but unbothered the next moment, since alt or not, Kwon seems to be a pretty dangerous guy to him. He decides to crush Kwon before he can grow, so prepares to attack Kwon with a piercing arrow, a skill that ignores defense. Chapter 15. The archer thought Kwon would be prone to damage now that he is using a piercing arrow, but the defense will be ignored only if he uses defense. Kwon instead opted to dodge the arrow. Flashback to his sister asking if he can dodge a bullet and Kwon telling her it's not impossible. All he has to do is read the direction of the gun barrel and then analyze the time when his opponent is going to shoot. He chose the same strategy to dodge the archer's arrows. Annoyed by Kwon, he decides to release a rapid fire of arrows, but to his dismay, the shadowbind technique's duration ended before the arrows could hit Kwon, giving him time to dodge away. Kwon charges at the guy, but he grins, signaling some monster to attack Kwon. Kwon finds the monster weaker than his determination to get his hands on this archer, only to have his foot stuck in a trap. The archer laughs at Kwon's simplicity to think that a shadow hunter won't have something up his sleeve to avoid getting charged at like this. He then orders the monster to kill him. After the monster lunges at Kwon, there is a wild attack, but instead of being happy, the hunter is shocked. Kwon had used his free leg to kick the monster away. The hunter shoots another arrow at him, planning to tie all his limbs next time, but Kwon reminds him he is not that Na'vi to fall for the same tricks over and over again. He uses elemental fire to burn down the shadows that the hunter has been using, making his technique useless. The monster once again pounces at him from afar, but it is too slow for Kwon to not be able to get rid of the hunter. In a close call, the hunter is knocked out, simultaneously getting rid of the monster close to attacking him. Kwon then looks around satisfied with the fight being over and amused for getting better loot than he expected from them. He found a lot of items and good quality, probably because of Peking. He remembers Min Young's words that after completing the first job change and reaching level 70, items won't be dropped from killing beginners anymore. He decides to use these weapons for the next level. Observing the stats and the loots, he wonders whether he should take more peekers for this much benefit. His amusement is disturbed by none other than the blue-haired useless guy. He appears there acting all violent and breathing heavily, as if he were the one fighting. He is shocked to find all his comrades taken down already, as if he didn't just take a good amount of sweet time before appearing there. Kwon, who has been standing on the side and observing him, grins in dark expressions while rubbing his fist as the tiger appeared the moment he mentioned it. The guy looks at Kwon nervously, and next are just some painful sounds that come out of the guy as he gets beaten up by Kwon. As Kwon walks into the city, there are a few people discreetly pointing at him and mentioning how his equipment is incredible, even if he's a rookie, and that he completed a lot of quests at once. Kwon figures there are a lot of hidden eyes watching him for some reason. He walks inside the Goblin Trading Company where the equipment is stored. He mentions having stuff to deposit there and lands a bunch of bows on the table that he looted. There are some of the victims of Kwon around there, cursing him for it. In his mind, he is glad that the bait has been set perfectly, so all he needs to do is choose a fishing spot now. His window mentions investigating the Labyrinth of Death. Chapter 16. A bunch of hunters stand behind the doors of the maze labyrinth, waiting for some XX people to be there so they can kill him and capture all his loot. They all wonder why there isn't much noise due to the battles happening around when the wall suddenly breaks, revealing Kwon in a grand entry. Kwon is amused that he expected to be followed, but seems like all these people were waiting for him here to ambush him. Ironically, the guys don't even know who he is and are there waiting for someone else, but Kwon disturbs them. They mock his cocky attitude as they have a higher force and power than him. Kwon understands that this is a misunderstanding, but would he leave this chance of defeating others? No. He takes out the stat-increasing potions he has and drinks them all to increase his strength to fight all these hunters. They are offended by his casual use of this potion and mock him for using it. He flies through trying to hit them as they dodge and calls them the cowardly ones for ganging up against him. He judges and counters their slow attacks and punches and kicks them, knocking people one after another. The enraged hunters aren't backing out either. If one takes a punch or a kick, the other charges at Kwon. Kwon can already feel the effects of potions wearing off, which means he is going to be exposed to danger soon. With another roundhouse kick, he throws a hunter away while the others decide to surround him. They try to kill him by attacking him all at once. Kwon jumps up and runs on the wall, freaking them all out. With the work of gravity, he has to jump back on the ground, so when he does it, the archers shoot arrows at him that are so fast that he barely escapes them this time. Kwon thinks they must have enhanced their rapid shot skill. Everyone threatens to kill him, but even with enhanced skills, Kwon does not consider them a danger he cannot counter. He runs to pick up an abandoned shield and charges at the archers, using it to defend against their attacks. 3 of them are hit by a single kick, and then everyone is confused about where he disappeared to out of nowhere. Everyone searches around for him, knowing he didn't escape and must have just hidden to make a surprise attack. Kwon smirks as he considers them all his prey now, while the others look around wondering what kind of person he is that they couldn't collectively take him down even after this much effort. They can't even head back as the return scrolls don't work in this place. One of the hunters shouts that he might be running away, probably to provoke Kwon and bring him out of the shadows. Everyone is suddenly alarmed by some weird noises of running coming from a corner. They all freak out as some monster eyes shine in the shadows. When the monsters come out of the shadows, they are scared to see skeletons rushing towards them out of nowhere. There is a tiny Kwon visible in front of the skeletons as well. The hunters try to run, but the skeletons are coming out from everywhere, not leaving any place for them to escape to. As everyone panics while standing in the center of a crowd of skeletons, Kwon happily charges while leading the skeletons, telling them to take this, not showing who he's actually supporting in this chaos. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe to watch more videos like these, turn on notifications, and leave a like and comment to help the channel out. From researching and scriptwriting to editing and mastering our best manhwa review channel, I will work hard to roll out the highest quality manhwa entertainment videos twice or more a week. If you like what I do here, please consider supporting the channel. To learn more about how to support the channel, check out the link in the description box down below, and if you can't give or simply don't even feel like it, that's okay too. I am just happy you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you on the next video. For now, peace.